Hi guys, welcome. My name is Heather Jones. I am the #1 intuitive teacher in the world, and I teach you the 7 keys. And why do I teach these keys for free? Because it took me over 10 years, over $15,000 in certifications to learn the most important thing that you will ever learn in your entire life. And that is, you have a gift of discernment. It is called your intuition. It never lies. It always tells the truth with a 99.9% accuracy. And when you learn how to use your intuition, when you learn how to tap into your gift from God, okay, you become unstoppable and you break free from the matrix. So I want to tell you the biggest lie that you have ever been told is that you cannot know exactly what's wrong with you and that you cannot heal yourself. So I teach you exactly how to remember the gift that you have been given. I help you remember truth, and that is that you can know exactly what is wrong. You can know exactly why you have a money block. You can know exactly why you keep bringing horrible people into relationships. You can know exactly why you have any dis-ease in the body in literal seconds. So if this is the first time you are seeing me, make sure you are following me. Do not lose me, because I am the only one that I know of, right, that teaches these things for free. So I spent the last 10 years, over $15,000 in several holistic certifications, because I too was in need of healing. I too had suffered childhood trauma. I suffered with lots of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, religious, spiritual traumas in my life. And because of that, into my 30s, 40s, right, I dealt with a lot of self-sabotage. I dealt with a lot of sickness, constant migraines from the age of 21 to 32. And it wasn't until I finally unlocked the truth, right? I finally had this aha moment that I had a gift, that my intuition always knew exactly what I needed. But the lie was, you guys, key #1, I teach the 7 keys. The lie is that I had been taught to silence my truth. And when you silence your truth, that is you silencing your pain through painkillers. That is you silencing, right, that download hit that you got that told you, right, what you needed to do. And you're like, that makes no sense. So I'm going to go through the 7 keys for free. Get a pen and paper. Make sure you write these things down, okay, because they are life-changing. I wish somebody had given me these keys for free, because it would have saved me a lot of heartache, a lot of money, and a lot of time. So key number one is that you have literally been lied to. Okay, you've been gaslit. You have been told to silence your pain. And when you silence your pain, you silence your truth. So we have something that can never be taken away from us. That is our gift of intuition. Hey, Dammy. Okay? That is our gift from God that never lies. It always tells the truth with a 100% accuracy. I do not mention any religion because I'm not religious, okay? I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Mother Mary. I believe in Gaia, okay? So my God is your God. Just because you call something a different name doesn't make it any different. So I think that's what the problem is today, is people say, well, you don't call my God the right name. And if I was a father to my creations and they called me all different names, I wouldn't punish them or send them to hell for all eternity, because they believed in me differently, right? So anyways, we're not going into that. Tonight we're going into the 7 keys, okay? So key number 1 is that you have been programmed to doubt the one gift that you have been given. Hey, Brenda, welcome, Queen. Thanks, Jenna. I know, I'm very cheated today. So you have been lied to. The day you were born, you have been taught to silence your truth. You have been told to shut up, sit down, be quiet, listen to me. I'm the boss, I'm the parent, and I know what's better for you. And then you left your parents and went to school. And then at school, you had teachers that told you to shut up, be quiet. I'm the boss. I know better. You can go to the bathroom when I tell you you can go to the bathroom. Then we go to church on Sundays, right? We're taught by pastors and bishops, church leaders, right? That they are the only ones that know the way. Then we go into the work environment where we have bosses who tell us what to do constantly. Okay, then we become moms, right? And then when our kids become sick, we do exactly what the system taught us to do, and that is to silence their pain with painkillers. Okay? Gaia and Jesus do not mix. Bye, false prophet. Bye, Ashley. See you later. Gaia is Mother Earth. People are weird. Okay, so you guys, I am here to teach you not my truth, but how you can remember your truth. Okay? I have spent my entire life relying on external validation, relying on everybody else to tell me how I should think, how I should act, how I should worship, and how I should heal myself. And the truth is that I was so vitally broken as a child, right? I was physically traumatized, sexually traumatized, religiously abused, spiritually abused. And so by the time I got into my 30s, I didn't know who the heck I was, right? I didn't know how to trust myself. I was lost, okay? And I kept seeking healing through external ways, right? How many of you guys, we seek healing through drugs, through alcohol, through painkillers, right? Through self-sabotage, through binge eating, right? These are all ways that we're trying to soothe or fix what's broken inside of us or what we think is broken. And so key number one is, you guys, we have been lied to. We have been taught to silence our truth, the gift that we have to source that tells us exactly what we need to heal ourselves. So, right, as a parent, I was going right into alignment with the broken system. So my son, a couple weeks ago, right, he threw up in the living room. Full on just threw up. And so what I normally would do as a mom is run to the kitchen and grab a bunch of painkillers, right? Stomach medicine, head medicine. But because I have the 7 keys, I could test instantly what actually happened, right? If it was physical, I would know. So I actually tested that he had absorbed energy from that morning, and his body knew it wasn't his, and his body purged it out of his body in seconds. And guess what? He was fine all day. So how many of you guys are dealing with chronic pain, chronic fatigue? How many of you guys are dealing with massive disease, Hashimoto's, cancer, autoimmune disorder, right? Maybe you have a couple extra 100 pounds on you and you don't know why and you can't get it off. Okay, you're going to the doctor, you're spending hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to do labs, right? All your labs are coming back clear or inconsistent. And they tell you, oh, nothing's wrong, you're fine. Because what you are actually dealing with is spiritual, okay? What you are dealing with is things that can't be seen by the eye because you're dealing with emotional trauma. You're dealing with generational trauma. You're dealing with spiritual things. You're dealing with things that cannot be tested by a doctor. So if you guys want to learn the 7 keys, follow along because we're going to go into them. So key number 1 is it could be physical. Ooh, yeah. Already diagnosed at 26, now I'm 38, and it's gotten bad. Because I promise you what you're dealing with is not physical. Okay? It might be now. It might have turned into something physical where you'd have so many heavy metals, so many toxins, and so many parasites, right? What started as an emotional trauma, generational trauma, you silenced your messenger for so long that now your body's overloaded with toxins, parasites, and nutrient deficiencies. So key number 2, you guys, is something could be physical. So when I use these keys, I can know exactly what's wrong with it within seconds. And I can test anybody in the entire world, and you can too. And I can know exactly what's wrong with them, the root cause, in seconds, and you can too. So key number 2, you guys, is it could be physical, but it's either going to be a toxin, a parasite, or a nutrient deficiency. Okay, and you could know which one, and there could be multiple, but your body will always tell you first priority. So when I work with someone and I'm using the 7 keys, right, first I have to tap into my intuition, my yes and my no. Do you know that your body, literally every time you prayed and asked for an answer, do you know every time you asked any question, your body responded with a yes or a no? Do you know that doctors and scientists have proven that your body is an instrument and can test with a 99.9% accuracy? Okay, this has been proven. I'm not the only one that teaches this. So if you are an instrument that can test with almost 100% accuracy, and then you have the 7 keys to unlock your truth in seconds, you become unstoppable. And so when I test people if they have parasites, right? A lot of you guys are wasting a lot of money on parasite cleanses or vitamins or things that actually don't even work. They're not even going to get to the root cause of your problem, right? So if you have a parasite, which parasite? If you have toxins, which toxins? If you have a nutrient deficiency, what nutrient deficiencies? Because I don't know about you, but I'm not going to waste my money on things that aren't going to get to the root cause. Thank you, Blue Diaz. Okay? So this is what you do. You get my free guide, you follow me, right? And you learn the 7 keys, right? I have been called at this time, during this dispensation of time, to help you remember who you are and awaken you to your truth, not my truth, your truth. Because I will tell you right now that it is going to get to the time where you cannot rely on other people to help you or to heal you, okay? That is not what you were created to do. You were created to get answers for yourself. And that is the well that Jesus is talking about. You drink from my well and you will never thirst again. You guys, that is from the kingdom of heaven, which is within you, okay? But so many of us are drinking from everybody else's well, and it's never, ever going to satisfy you. How do I know? Because I used to do that too. I used to try to get external validation for everything, for my worth, for my value, everything. My life was dependent on what other people thought of me. Thank you. You guys, click the link in my profile. You can see my offerings. So my life was dependent on external things. And the more that you are reliant on external things, the more sick you will become, the more you need to satisfy the need, okay? Whether that's drugs, alcohol, food, right? Men to tell you you're beautiful or want to sleep with you. Okay, that was my problem, okay? I had no worth, no value. And a lot of that stemmed from my childhood trauma. So we're going through the keys, you guys. Key number 1 is your body speaks to you. Okay, pain is just the messenger. Pain is just a messenger. So the messenger comes and says, hey, there's something wrong with you. And you're like, shh, with the painkiller. But the messenger doesn't go away, you guys. The messenger just gets louder and louder and louder. Until finally the messenger gets so freaking loud, you are dealing with chronic pain. Now you are forced to deal with it. But the problem is you are going to doctors who don't know how to deal with spiritual things because it started in childhood, most likely, okay? So next key, it could be physical. Next key, emotional trauma. So if you have ever experienced sexual trauma, which I know every 1 in 4 people watching this live have, from the ages of 1 to 18. They say for men, it's not as many, but I think that's a lie. I think it's just as many. If you've ever experienced emotional trauma, okay? Physical trauma. If you're anywhere from the ages of 30 to 60, we got our butts whooped, okay? We know what a good beating feels like. But when we were children, we did not have the mental capacity to tell ourselves that that was not okay. Okay? So when I was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and getting my butt whooped, getting my butt handed to me, right? I didn't recognize anything except for the trauma that was happening to me. And you make beliefs about yourself when you're a little child, right? You believe you're unworthy, that you're not good enough, that you're unlovable. Those are the things that you create about yourself in your mind, right? When you're 30 and 40, you can see, oh yeah, she probably deserved a spanking because she was back talking or whatever. But a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old, their intentions are not to cause harm or chaos, right? And then the sexual trauma that happens, right? When you're a child, anywhere from the ages of 0 to 25, you do not have the mental capacity, once again, to acknowledge that what happened to you was not your fault. So now I work with women who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, okay, who have been sexually traumatized, and they have so much shame, they have so much guilt, they never tell anyone, right? And then they blame themselves, or they have family members treat them as if they were the problem to keep their mouths shut. And so they're dealing with this silent killer because your body doesn't forget. It holds on to that, okay? When you're older, it tries to bring it up so you can heal it. But what are we taught to do? We're taught to silence our truth and push it down. But the messenger doesn't go away. The messenger gets louder. And here's the thing. Every single time you silence your truth, every single time you deny your truth, you put a part of your light out. Okay, I call this hiding your light under a bushel. And I'm working with people, you guys, it breaks my heart that I've been putting their lights out for so long. The light will go out. You will literally put your own light out if you ignore your truth and silence your truth for long enough. Okay? How do I know this? Because the world is going through an epidemic of mental health crisis, sexual abuse, physical abuse, right? The amount of narcotics people are using, it's insane. Because a lot of people are dying inside and they aren't given the truth on how to actually heal themselves. And so when you have your intuition where you can test yes or no, you're an instrument. When you have the 7 keys, the keys I created, right? Why did I create the 7 keys? Thank you, Diana. I created the 7 keys because we have forgotten how to ask. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. So as children, right, we're taught to silence our truth. And now we wonder why we're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and don't know how to ask, don't know how to receive, right? Because we have been so detached from the one thing because they knew it, you guys. They knew if I can get them to silence their truth the day they're born, we will win. So am I offering spiritual guidance? So I offer one-on-ones. I have a $27 guide where I teach you the 7 keys in detail, plus how to do this method on yourself. Okay, I offer a spiritual mastery course too. So you guys, I am here to teach truth. I'm here to teach you the keys that I took over 10 years to learn, over $15,000 in certifications, because I was broken. I needed help. I was abused. And I went this route to heal myself. And after I spent the 10 years and the $15,000 plus dollars, I was so mad at God because I said, God, I was like, people can't afford $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 to learn these things. And it's so simple, right? I spent my last $1,000 on a course. And I knew, because she got me, right? She said that if you're a Reiki master, if you're certified in NLP, hypnosis, emotion code, like I have the one answer for you. And I was like, wow, this sounds a lot like what I'm developing. And so I took her program and I knew if she taught this one thing, if she said this one thing, I knew that I wasted $1,000. And guess what? Guess what the core of her coaching was around? Your freaking intuition. You guys, your body is an instrument. It can test with a 99.9% accuracy what is wrong with you. So if you are a psychic or a medium or a healer or a doctor or a physician, anyone can test with a 99.9% accuracy what is wrong with you. And you can do it for yourself. So I've literally worked with hundreds of people and I've seen them miraculously heal before my eyes. They went from a 10-10 pain to a 0. How? It's so simple, because when you ask, you shall receive. You're an instrument. So what does this look like? I'm dealing with someone with a 10-10 pain. I ask for permission. Can I test for you? Yes. Is your pain physical, emotional, generational, spiritual, past life, absorbed? And her body will tell me exactly what it is. Okay, the keys just unlock truth faster. And the second the messenger is allowed to speak and says exactly what's wrong and what this person needs, guess what? The messenger leaves. Okay? So we're going to go through the 7 keys. If the messenger comes back, right, the pain comes back, it's because there's another thing you need to heal. There's layers. So somebody asks, well, why does the pain keep coming back? Well, that's just where the messenger keeps telling you there's a problem. Okay? So we're going through the keys, you guys. We're going through the keys. Is my gut making a lot of noise? My chair might be. So key number 1, your body speaks to you. Okay? Your body speaks to you. Every time you prayed to God and asked for an answer, do you know you literally received an answer in seconds? Do you know every time you asked, is this right for me? Should I make this decision? Your body said yes or no. every single time. Okay? Pain is just the secret language of the body. Pain is just a messenger. Ignore the messenger long enough, the messenger is going to get louder. The pain is going to increase. Okay? Over time, it will become so debilitating that you're forced to deal with it. We doing good? Key number 2, it could be physical. Okay? Key number 3, if you've ever been sexually traumatized, physically traumatized, emotionally or spiritually, you most likely have an emotional trauma. You have belief systems about yourself that are just not true. Okay? You have a broken little girl and a broken little boy. That's you. That needs the truth. So the lie is that you have to go back to these traumas and relive them, okay, to heal them. Nope, that's not true. That little person, that little you just needed to know exactly what she didn't hear after the trauma, okay? Now that you're 30 and 40 and 50 and 60, you have the mental capacity to recognize that trauma was not okay. So why aren't you telling that little person the truth that she needed to hear? Because the second you go back and you tell her, the second I told my little self, my 3-year-old, my 4-year-old, the truth, she was healed instantly, okay? What if we are numb from years of suppressing pain? Most people are. So I share this story a lot. My husband, right? He had no memory. No memory from 7 on. He was numb, okay? And I knew, as someone who worked in spiritual practices, I knew that there was a reason why he had no memory and why he was so numb. It's because his body had to do that to protect himself, because the trauma must have been so horrific. So here's the thing. If you have no memory of your childhood, that's not the problem. What you need to do to start remembering is you have to learn how to create safety in your body, and your body will tell you what you need to heal. And as you slowly start healing these things, layer upon layer, you will get to a place where you know who you are and you are so strong that then your body will create safety and say, okay, now I can show her this memory because she has the tools to heal it and it won't break her. Does this make sense? So what happens is there are people who dabble in plant medicine, who go to someone who's not licensed or trained, and they awaken these memories and they go full psychosis. They go full mental or crazy because the downloads were so intense, right? They weren't ready for that. There is a reason why your body protects you from those things, okay? Our bodies know exactly what to do. So I teach these keys and I always ask my body, what's first priority, right? Yeah, oh, Elizabeth, I'm so sorry, honey. Yeah, I worked with a lady who did a session, somebody who did EMDR, and it's not her fault. There's a reason why she experienced this, because she's going to help other people and explain to them the importance of, finding a facilitator or someone who actually knows what they're doing. But she had these memories and these flashbacks of such horrific trauma that she went full psychotic. The depression, the anxiety, she became very, very suicidal. And the truth is that her body was protecting her from this. And if she had just cleared things and developed her own self-worth first, and if she had the tools so that when she saw those things, she would recognize her power, that wouldn't have happened. Okay? So we're going through the 7 keys, you guys. These keys are life-changing. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you get my free guide. Okay? I give you the keys for free. Ooh, something spiritual probably. I was just reading the comments. So if you want to learn exactly how to test the way I do, if you want to learn how to do what I do with other people and test other people in literal seconds with their permission, right? That is what my $27 guide is for. If you feel called to do a one-on-one with me, right? You can do that too. If you feel called to join my spiritual mastery course, you can do that too. So let's go to the next key. Generational trauma. So they have proven through epigenetics, right, that generational trauma is real. What does that mean? That means that you can pass things down generationally from mom and dad multiple generations back. You can have fears, phobias, sicknesses, and diseases. This includes money blocks, okay, bad relationships, karma, passed down from mom and dad generations back. Ooh, Brenda, you will soon, honey. You're doing the work. So generational trauma looks like this. When you have a parent, right? So my dad was very, very physically abusive with me. Okay, his dad was very physically abusive with him. His dad was very physically abusive with him. Okay, it's not the abuse that gets passed down, it's the beliefs. It's the coding, right? This is the way it's done. This is the way it's done. When my mother was sexually traumatized and her mother was sexually traumatized and her mother was sexually traumatized, right? It doesn't mean that I needed to be sexually traumatized. What was passed down was the beliefs and the coding. Okay? So I had beliefs and coding that were encoded in me about my worth and my value. And then I was put in situations where I was abused, right? Conditioning, yes. And so when you can recognize the patterns in your own life and you can recognize that this is not my thought pattern, this is not what I want to believe or choose to believe or move into my life, most likely you have generational patterns that are locked and encoded in your DNA. But you have the power to clear that. And so how do you know? You have to be able to test your body's yes and your no. So you guys, I teach you this. So I learned a system in Germany called Innerwise. It was the one time in my life where I could finally test yes or no, bypassing my consciousness, right? Because I always felt like I manipulated. Well, is this a yes or a no? I don't know. Ugh, right? The self-doubt. So I finally, for the first time in a decade, learned a system that was so incredibly easy, thank you, Christina, that my kids can do it. And then as you practice using your body as an instrument to get a yes and to get a no, right? Using the 7 keys, which key will unlock my healing? You guys, you will start to develop something called your intuition. So this is a feeling, this is a thought, this is a smell, this is a taste. It's something unique to you that's totally different than me. And you will start recognizing every time I test yes, I feel this way. Every time I test no, it's the same feeling when it's a no. And so testing your body becomes second confirmation to what you already divinely know is true. Okay? Does this make sense? So after a decade of me practicing this, I know, because when you test, you guys can test so quick. Sometimes I need to slow down because my body's like, whoa, 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 that's not right. It doesn't feel right in my body. So when I slow down and retest, I'm like, okay, this is a yes, this is a no. So when you have your yes and no and you have the 7 keys, you guys, I give you the keys for free. Nobody else is teaching this that I know of. The keys, right? That you're an instrument, that you know exactly, I mean, besides Jesus, right? The Bible teaches you that, but nobody believes it. So let's go to the next key. Okay, we're going to go through the keys and then I'm going to do one-on-ones. I'm going to prove to you that I can test in literal seconds the root cause and that people could go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 in literal minutes. Okay, when you let the messenger speak, the pain goes away. Hello, Monica. So next key, where are my empaths in here? Thank you, Monica. Where are my empaths? Where are the women, the men who feel energy? Do I use biblical principles? Well, I will tell you that everything I teach is straight from source, okay? I do not teach distortion. I do not teach lies. I teach you how to get your own answers, and that's how you should be doing things, right? So look at all these empaths in here. Look at all these empaths. You guys, being an empath is a gift. I will say that most empaths have this gift and it's heightened because of your trauma. As a child, you had to learn how to become totally aware of the energy in the room, right? For protection. Because when dad came home, I needed to make sure what his emotion was so I didn't get my butt whooped. Okay? Yeah. So we are hypersensitive to people in our circle because of our traumas. We were trained and programmed to do that. But now we're adults and we continue to do that, but it becomes draining and exhausting. And here's another thing that happens. So I'm going to teach you a really quick lesson. Hey, Heather. We do need to learn healthy boundaries. How many of you guys heard of quantum entanglement, right? It's a pretty fancy word that people drop around a lot, but quantum entanglement just means this. So we are all energy. When you go into a room, you can feel energy, right? You know when people are talking crap behind your back. Okay, you know when you need to cut, right, the energy in the room with a knife. You could feel that. But what happens sometimes is we could actually be sitting by someone and we have no clue what they're going through, right? And do you know that our energies actually bounce off of each other, right? Science has proven this. Go look it up. So after about 20 minutes of sitting next to someone, our energies actually balance out together and they're connected. We are energetically connected, okay? But what happens is when you leave, you might actually take someone's energy with you, and that is absorbed energy, right? You took on a feeling or a belief, and if you're an empath, you might be doing that way more than you think. Or you might be the kind of person where someone is a dump. They just love to dump. You're like, wow, everybody just loves to tell me all their life stories that they've never told anyone before in their life. It can happen virtually, yes. It can happen anywhere, right? And so when you leave with someone else's energy, you're exhausted. You have a headache out of nowhere. You have neck pain out of nowhere, right? All of my Reiki healers, so I'm a Reiki master, right? I certified in several modalities. I recognize that as I'm working with people, I would mirror their pain. Where are my massage therapists, right? Yep, return to sender. Yep, dump truck here. Where are my hairstylists at? Where are my nurses at? Right? We are in fields where we are constantly taking on people's energy. But I want to tell you that the second you learn these keys, okay, the second you have pain show up in your body, if you test it is absorbed energy, you can send it back to sender. Leave my body now. You are not mine. Okay? So, hey Ginger, welcome Queen. So this is what that looks like. So someone said, can you absorb energy, right? From a phone call, from a TV show, from music. You can absorb energy from anything. But here's the truth, you guys, I'm never sick and I never, ever have depression or anxiety. Sometimes I do get pain, but this is what it looks like. So I got off a live and my chest hurt. Okay, this is where the messenger pokes me a lot. I constantly have stuff in my chest. So the messenger was poking me. Hey, there's something here. It's not yours. I was like, ooh, what is it? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it generational? It's absorbed energy. Wow. Okay. Did I absorb it from my TikTok live? Yes. Okay. Good to know. I removed this absorbed energy. That's not mine. I fill it with unconditional love. Guess what? My chest pain was gone in literally 30 seconds. So if you learn how to do this, you guys will never be sick. Ever. Okay? You might get a little pinpoint here or here, right? It's just the messenger telling you there's something here. And then the second you get the message from the messenger, she leaves. But what happens, you guys, key number one is we are taught to what? To silence our truth. We silence the messenger. The messenger doesn't go away. She just gets louder and louder. And we get more and more sick, more and more sick. And we keep going to the doctors. What's wrong? And the doctors keep telling us nothing's wrong. Your labs are clear, because doctors cannot do labs. Doctors cannot do labs for generational trauma, for emotional trauma, sexual abuse, physical abuse, religious abuse, okay? Absorbed energy. They're not going to say, looks like you got a lot of absorbed energy here. How do you contact me? You can contact me. I have a link in my bio. So for those of you guys who are just joining, make sure you follow me. Thank you so much for tapping the screen and hitting the love, okay? When you do that, okay, TikTok sends this out to other people. They will get the keys for free too. Okay, I'm only one person. I need your help, right? To bring a mass awakening to people. People need to know the truth, okay? And what is that truth? The truth is that you can heal yourself. You have to stop seeking external validation for everything. You got to stop doing that, okay? You can know exactly what is wrong with you. Exactly, to the root cause in literal seconds. That is our gift. Okay, that is our gift of intuition. Okay, I have studied with the top healers, psychics, mediums in the world, right? I spent a year certifying in breakthrough with a multi-millionaire who learned this system from Tony Robbins, right? He spent $350,000 a week with Tony Robbins. I spent a year in certification learning breakthrough. What is breakthrough? Okay, it's what I give you for free in my free guide. So you guys, these things that I teach you because it is time for us to remember. It is time for the collective consciousness to awaken. It is time for us to remember who we are, because it is getting to the point where you will put your own light out if you keep doing things the way you're doing. Okay? So let's go to the next key. How many of you guys are just loving the keys? Aren't these like incredible? So how did I learn these keys, right? I've been certified in over 10 holistic modalities. Hey, Alexis. So from emotion code, map, theta healing, a Reiki master, inner wise, human design, right? There are so many of them. Breakthrough. I recognize, right? Oh, quantum healing hypnosis therapy, NLP hypnosis, right? As I started developing and learning and certifying, I recognized that there was a common theme between all of these, right? The first thing is that your body always knows exactly what you need to do first. What's first priority in your healing. Your body always knows exactly what to do. Yeah, Heather is certified in almost everything. It is true, okay? Every year in the last 10 years, I was certifying in something, right? Because I was trying to heal me, you guys. So when I teach about the emotional key, I lived it. I cannot stand more than anything in this world, therapists, doctors, teachers who teach things they have never experienced, right? I lost a child. They tried to put me in, after I lost and buried my son, they sent me to this group. And it was a lady teaching who didn't even lose a child. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Okay. So these keys I teach because I embodied and lived them. So when I tell you you can overcome and heal yourself, it is because I have done that using these keys. Okay. I never want someone who's never experienced sexual trauma or physical trauma or religious or spiritual trauma to tell me how to heal myself. I just don't get that, right? I just don't get that, right? I have family members who are spending the last 10 years to become, a counselor. And I'm like, okay, right? Anyways, I digress. So we're going to go to the next key. Okay, the spiritual key. This is my absolute favorite key. This is why I teach my spiritual mastery course, because we have been silenced about spiritual things. So how many of you guys have been dealing with massive fatigue, ringing in the ears, feeling like you've been swimming underwater? Oh, Katie. How many of you guys have been dealing with massive fatigue? I mean, it's like every other day you feel like you need to take a 4 or 5 hour nap. Bingo. Yes. Yeah, a lot of us are dizziness, ringing in the ears. Yes, so I was working with a guy, you guys, we did a one-on-one, and he's so frustrated because he's a contractor. He works, labor is his job, and he's exhausted. And he's so hard on himself. He's like, I'm sick. There's something wrong with me. And you guys, I tested spiritual key. I tested ascension, integration. So a lot of us, right? There could be more keys, but a lot of us are dealing with so much integration, ascension. Our bodies are exhausted because the earth is shifting. The Schumann resonance is shooting energy, right? We are feeling that. Right? And so our bodies are vibrating at a higher vibrational frequency, and they're taking a little bit longer to catch up. So instead of thinking there's something wrong with me, I'm broken, I must be sick, it must be the flu, it must be allergies, it's that time of the year. Check. And if it's spiritual and it's integration or ascension, okay, we now know we need to do things that are good for our bodies. Grounding, hug a tree, right? Ask our bodies to integrate quicker. Yeah, my ears have been ringing nonstop the last couple of weeks. It just started to get better this week. Okay. So there's another side to the spiritual key, and that is the scary side, right? I will say that most of the scary things that they show in movies, they are real, but they don't show up like that, okay? They show up in physical sickness and attacks. So when I was a little girl, I saw demonic entities. I saw the shadow beings. I had sleep paralysis. I had horrific night terrors. I was absolutely afraid to go to bed at night because I didn't know what I was going to dream. And my dreams were terrifying. So when I was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, right? There was a lot of trauma in my home. My mom and my dad fought a lot. There was a lot of toxicity in my home. I was being physically abused. I was being sexually abused by babysitters, okay? And so no wonder my home was a breeding ground for these lower vibrational entities. And now as a child, I didn't have the mental capacity, right, to recognize my power and to cast those things out. So what did I do as a child? I was just absolutely terrified every day of my life. And so here I am, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, 7-year-old little girl, terrified, being abused, right? Creating belief systems about myself that are so horrible. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm unlovable because my mom left when we were 6, right? She couldn't handle it anymore. She had to get out. And so here I am, a child with adult responsibilities now. I have a younger sister. I'm seeing these terrifying things. And I can tell you that my mouth was physically bound shut by some of these entities when I would wake up and try to scream for my parents and I couldn't. Okay? Hey, does anyone want to moderate for me? Because I have a lot of people I need to like mute. Let me know if you want to moderate. So that happened as a child. I stopped seeing them. At the age of 7, I stopped seeing them. Okay, there's a reason why I stopped seeing them, but I won't go into that. But when I was in my 30s, I started seeing them again. Okay, but this time I knew my power. I knew my worth. Thank you, Ellie. I'll make you a moderator. So you guys, this time I'm in my 30s. I know my worth. I know my power. I see the tall shadow hat man. Have any of you guys seen the tall shadow hat man? In my kitchen. And it saw me and I saw it. And then when it recognized that I could actually visually see it, it ran out of my house so fast I didn't even have to say anything. I didn't have to say anything, right? Because it knew my boundaries. So my spiritual mastery course, right? I teach these things. I teach you how to set terms to your boundaries, right? Because the truth is, when I was a little girl, I could have done all those things. I just didn't know how. And so this is why I teach the spiritual key too, you guys. So when I was 21, thank you, Deanna. I have, I can make you a moderator too, just in case you miss it. So you guys, when I was 21, I started getting massive migraines, like every single day. And I know if you guys have ever gotten migraines, right? If you've ever gotten migraines, you know it's horrible. It is the worst. I would not wish migraines on anybody because you feel like you're going to die, right? The pain is so excruciating. You get so nauseous. You feel like you're going to go to the emergency room. So when I was 21, I went to the doctors. I literally thought I was dying of a tumor. So we're talking about the spiritual key, you guys, right now. So I was 21. I went to the doctors. He referred me to a specialist. The specialist did a whole bunch of labs. The labs came back and the doctor said, do you have a book as reference? Oh, yes. So I have my free guide, you guys. There's a link in my bio. And then I have my $27 guide that teaches you how to use these 7 keys, and actually how I test, which we're going to do in a little bit. It teaches you how to test for other people. Okay. All the charts, everything you need to get started is in my $27 guide. So I see a specialist. The specialist runs all these labs, comes back and said, oh, you're fine. Oh, you're fine. You're just having migraines. If any doctor tells you that your pain is normal, okay, go see another doctor. In fact, don't see a doctor. Get my 7 keys, right? He's like, oh, you're totally fine. You're just having migraines. Let me put you on this prescription, okay, Imitrex. Look at the side effects of Imitrex, you guys. So here I am, 21 years old. I get put on this prescription medication for my migraines. It would be another decade later till I figured something out. So now I'm 32 years old dealing with migraines, right? To have my medication just in case they get bad. I'm 32 years old. I'm at a place where I do not have my medication. If any of you guys are in chronic pain, you know what I'm talking about. If you cannot get your medication, you know that you're 15, 20 minutes away, right to the emergency room. So I reach out to a friend who does spiritual work and I said, hey, I need your help. I am desperate. I said, I don't have my medication. Okay, I'm about to go into a full-blown migraine. So she said, okay. She called me back and she said, Heather, she said, you are being attacked by legions of entities. You are being attacked by legions of entities. And the second she said that, you guys, I got that chill up my spine and I knew what she was saying was truth, right? You know when people are telling you truth and when people are bullshitting you. Okay, that is your gift. So I went into the bathroom and for the first time in my life, I cast out legions of entities. But here's the thing, my mouth was bound shut just like I was a child. But I prayed in my mind and for the first time in a decade, I did not get a migraine without my medication. And so this is why I teach the 7 keys, because you have been taught to silence your truth. When I was 21 years old, I was gaslit by a doctor that my migraines were normal, that this painkiller, right? You guys, the medications mask the symptoms. They don't get to the root cause because the root cause is most often spiritual. It's childhood trauma, okay? It's generational trauma, or it's absorbed energy, or it's a freaking spiritual entity. Now, if you don't believe in demonic entities, that's fine, okay? A lot of people haven't physically seen them with their eyes, so it's hard to fathom. But I know when I read the scriptures and Jesus cast demonic entities out of swine and put them into swine, and when Jesus told Peter, James, and John, sometimes you have to fast before you can get these things out, I knew he wasn't talking in parables, okay? I knew he wasn't talking in freaking parables. He did not say shadow work, okay? So, my truth is not to scare you and to make you feel like terrified, right? That's the lie. The truth is that you have so much power that your words alone, by casting them out, they'll leave. And so some of you guys are dealing with chronic pain and it's a spiritual attack. It is spiritual warfare on your body, okay? And so if this is happening to you, all I'm saying is if you test yes, it's spiritual, right? You test yes to what it is, you can clear it. You can command it to leave and it will never hurt you again, okay? So powerful. That's why I love the spiritual key. And I, again, personally experienced these things for myself. I'm really, really excited because if you guys are in Utah, I'm going to start doing paranormal investigations and not playing with demonic entities, right? But helping people reclaim their power and know if something is in their home, they can cast it out. Okay, my biggest pet peeve is when I see psychics or mediums or healers say, oh, I don't know, right? And it's like, no, you do know. You can test. If it's spiritual, yes or no. Is it demonic? Is it an unclean spirit? Is it a familiar? Is it a fiery dart of the adversary? Is it a curse? Is it a hex? You could know in seconds. I would love to come to California. Do you have some hauntings in your house? So that is the spiritual key, okay? We have one more key and then we're going to do some one-on-ones. So a little bit of update. Make sure you're following me. Thank you so much for tapping on the screen and for sharing, right? I teach the keys for free. I need your help in giving everyone these keys, this information, right? This information is life-changing. How do I know? Because it's literally transformed my life. I'm a totally different person because I know my worth. I know my power. So get my free guide. That's the breakthrough guide. Okay. I list the 7 keys. Okay. We go deep into the first 3 keys. And my $27 guide, okay, we go into every single key. I give you all the questions to ask. I teach you how I test, right? I'm certified in kinesiology, you guys. I couldn't figure it out. Okay, I'm one of those special people. It didn't work for me. So when I learned this system in Germany, it was so simple, easy. Okay. So I teach that in my $27 guide. Also in my $27 guide, We have all the charts and graphs. So if it's physical, you know exactly what parasite, what toxin, what nutrient deficiency. If it's an emotion, you know exactly what emotion. Okay? I also teach you how to do this on other people. There is a way to test other people. There is a way to get to the root cause of other people. If you're a mom, if you're a daughter, if you're a dad, if you're a brother, a sister, you have someone struggling with their health and you want to be able to help them, you can, right? But there's an appropriate way to do that. And so I teach you how to appropriately do this. It's called doing it proxy, doing it for other people with their permission. And then also in my $27 guide, right, I teach you how to look at these or use these keys outside of the physical health. Let's talk about money blocks, okay? Let's talk about money blocks. Let's talk about how I did $20,000 in literally, okay, over 2 weeks by clearing one of the keys, okay? I got receipts. Okay, everything I teach because I've embodied. Yes, Heather, I emailed you the pet guide. I emailed you the pet guide. Yes, so if you have pets and you want to work with your pets, you guys, I do have a guide for pets. It is a little bit differently, okay? Our pets do not need our healing. Our pets need us to recognize why they're here, right? Our pets came to help us, right? They didn't come here for us, right, to heal them. They need us to recognize what they're doing for us. So it's a little bit differently when you're working with your pets. Wow, Jade, that's amazing. I love that. So, you guys, we have one more key. If you haven't already, make sure you get my free guide. Make sure you're following me, okay? My $27 guide, get it, because on January 1st, it's going to go to $47, okay? Any and all updates or anything I add to the $27 guide, you will get access to that too. So you'll have lifetime access to that guide. It's a digital download. But if I do any updates, you'll have access to that. And then if you feel called to join my spiritual mastery course, yeah, that is so true regarding pets. Yeah, I've worked with so many people and they're like, oh, I need you to heal my pet. I need you to heal my pet. And every single time I get a no. Every single time someone asks me to help their pet, usually I get a no because it is not my responsibility to help them. It is the pet owner's responsibility. So I would teach them, right, kind of what to do to kind of get those answers for their pets. And you can too. If you want to get my pet guide, I'd love for you to start working on your pets. If you feel called to join my spiritual mastery course, okay, it's $397. It's broken down into monthly payments if you need to. But this is for people who feel called, who've known since the day they were born. There's just something different about you. You've always known that you were meant to be a leader in this world. You've always known at like the soul level that you were here to help people at a greater capacity. You have spiritual gifts. You want to awaken them. You want to use your gifts. You want to be used as an instrument, right? To serve others. So if you feel called to kind of step into that, I have my spiritual mastery course. And I will say that all of my teachings are based off of like my creator is God. But if you do believe in something else or source, right, energy, it still works for you. You will know exactly. So I don't teach people my way. I teach people how to find their own ways, right? How to set terms and boundaries, how to really tap into your spiritual gifts, okay? You'll also be certified in the Truth Code system. That is a system that I teach and use so that if you decide, right, to start your own business or you want a system that doctors and nurses and practitioners use, this is the Truth Code system. Okay. Oh, wow, Brenda. Yeah. And I will say most of the people will I get the advanced guide with my one-on-one session or should I purchase separately? Yeah. So you won't get the advanced guide with your one-on-one session, but in your one-on-one session, I will teach you the method that I use in my advanced guide. So a lot of times people book a one-on-one and they're like, oh, I'm getting the guide right now. Okay. It just makes it a lot easier too, because then when you get the guide, it's a lot easier once you've seen me do it and we do it together too. So, yay, Ginger. I'm so excited for our one-on-one queen. How do we find out if we're being attacked? So first of all, you guys have to start trusting your intuition. You have to learn how to get a yes or a no. Okay? You have to learn how to do that first. When you get your yes and your no, right? This is how you use the keys. I have pain in my chest. I think I'm being spiritually attacked. If I'm being spiritually attacked, say, am I being spiritually attacked? Yes or no? Or you can say, which key is causing me to feel like I'm being spiritually attacked? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, absorbed? Okay. And once you get a yes, then you'll know if it is or not. Do you have students from Malaysia? I have one student. She's not from Malaysia. She is from the Netherlands. So I have students from all over the country. It's really powerful. And I will tell you that everyone that is called into my circle has experienced trauma. Because you came to this life, right? Not with a silver spoon in your mouth. You came to experience the traumas much more than other people, right? To prepare you for your mission on this earth. Ooh, Singapore. So I mostly work with people who are called into leadership because you were called to serve at a capacity that is not someone who's just lived an easy life. Okay. So we were talking about trees last night, right? A strong, solid tree has withstood the harshest storms. And in order to become a leader, right, you have to have gone through the storms, right? When people hear your words, when you speak truth, it is because you speak from an empowered place of knowing, not faking it, not BSing it, knowing. So when I teach these keys that they can literally heal you in seconds, that you can know what the root cause of your pain is in literal seconds, I mean it, because I've literally helped and seen hundreds of women, hundreds of men across the entire globe do this. Okay? I have personally worked with hundreds, if not thousands of people by now, go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 pain in literal minutes. Not because I'm a savior, not because I'm a healer, but because I teach truth, right? I teach you how to unlock your truth. And that's how it's supposed to be. You guys, that is the biggest lie we have been taught, is to silence your truth, okay? You can know exactly like I do, exactly how to do this. And that's what I teach my $27 guide, okay? Hi, I am amazing. Miss you, queen. How are the poems coming? Have you launched any new ones? I need to hire you to create a song for my spiritual mastery group. Or when we do retreats, right? All the women sing a powerful chant or poem. So, last key. Yeah, Felicia, right? I could not agree more with teachers of any kind that have never went through what they're teaching. So we're going to go through we're going to teach the last key, and then after that, you guys, we're going to do some one-on-ones, okay? So the last key is the past life key, okay? And this key was really hard for me because I grew up in a very strict religion and we didn't believe in that. And if you don't believe in that too, that's totally fine, right? These other keys will still work for you. But you guys, I had an experience where I was dealing with chest pain, okay? I felt like my chest was on fire. It felt like my ribs were crushing. And I didn't have pneumonia. This is way before COVID. And I had my keys, right? I knew how to ask my body what was wrong, but it was going on for about 3 weeks when finally I was like, what the heck is this? And so I asked my body, right? I asked the messenger, what is this pain in my chest? Okay. Will we know if they have been through stuff or not? I'm not sure what you're talking about. So you guys, I asked the messenger, what is this pain in my chest, right? And the messenger told me it's not from this lifetime. I was like, okay, what does that even mean? So I waited a couple more days because I'm very hard-headed. And it was just getting worse, right? Like I was going into almost 4 weeks of this pain. So I asked again, I was like, what is this pain? And my body said again, it's not from this lifetime. So I went on YouTube, right? And I did a past life regression meditation. And so during this meditation, I found myself deep in a vision, okay? I saw myself as a redheaded princess, right? A redheaded woman of wealth. And I was in this castle and I was bawling my eyes out. Thank you. I was bawling my eyes out. And I felt every emotion that she was feeling, because here's what I knew about her. She had no voice. She was treated worse than the dogs, okay? She only had one purpose, and that was to produce a male heir, okay? That was it. And I was alone in this room, bawling my eyes out, because I knew I wanted to help people. I knew that I had gifts, but I knew that I was being silenced because I was a woman, okay? And so when I came out of that vision, that meditation, I knew exactly how she felt, because I was a woman. I knew I had spiritual gifts. I knew that I was being treated less than because of, right, my gender. And so I still had this chest pain. I was like, okay, that was cool. Now what? So I reached out to a friend and I did a session with her, and we grew up same religion, right? Same belief systems, but I reached out to her regardless. And so she was doing this session, and about 5 to 10 minutes in my session, I said, hey, I didn't tell her anything. I said, hey, I think I believe in multiple lives, multiple probations of time. And she said, oh, good, so do I. She's like, because I see a little redheaded girl running through the fields. And you guys, the second she said that, right, redheaded little girl, I knew that she was speaking truth, and she saw the person I saw, okay, in that past life. And it was like a lightning bolt of energy shot through my body. I knew, right? I knew that that was truth. And my chest pain was gone in literal minutes, seconds, gone. Okay? So I had an undeniable experience that what I was dealing with was something from a past life that was trying to clear, and it was cleared. So since then, right, I have spent time in certifications, NLP hypnosis, right? Quantum healing hypnosis therapy, theta healing. And here's the truth I want you to know. It does not need to take 3 to 5 hours in a meditation to know if you have a past life and to know if you need to clear something or learn a lesson. It literally takes seconds. Is intuitive guide enough to buy in order to heal? Yes, it is. In fact, my free guide is enough for you to start. If you have no money, you're broken, you're lost, and you just need guidance, you guys, my free guide will get you there, okay? That's why I teach these keys for free, because all you have to do is start trusting your intuition. The keys just unlock the doorways quicker. So you guys, I had this incredible experience, and I could not deny that there was something to what I witnessed and I experienced. And so I dove deep in again to these certifications, which I didn't need. So all you need to know, you guys, is you have an intuition. Your body knows what the pain is. Thank you, Cece. Your body knows what the pain is, what you need to do to clear it, what you need to heal it at the root cause with a 99.9% accuracy. And so you want to know how psychics become psychics, how mediums become mediums, because they start practicing and they trust their intuition. They start trusting the downloads they see, right? And they know what they're seeing, right? And they do it long enough that they know without a shadow of a doubt that what they're seeing and feeling is real. And you guys have those gifts too, right? You have the gift of mediumship. You have psychic abilities. You have clair abilities. And in my spiritual mastery course, I teach you how to awaken those in truth, right? With no distortion, right? Connected to source. And so we want to be really careful as we're awakening our gifts and awakening our spiritual antenna so that we don't accidentally call in the things, right, that we don't want to deal with. So a lot of that's happening a lot too with people going into psychosis and people dabbling in plant medicine. So those are the 7 keys. So now you have every single key for free. I wish I had these keys, right? But I had to learn really deeply in the hard way how to come to these keys. And it wasn't something that was created, you guys. It was something that was remembered. And so I am here to help women awaken and remember their truth, remember their power, and remember what you promised before you came here to do. Because you promised that you would come here, that you would experience those traumas and those trials. You guys, traumas and trials are nothing more than your hashtag training. Okay, you came here to learn these things, and you set up this deck of a life hard, right? You said, I'm going to come here and I'm going to just blast these lessons out. And so as you recognize, right, those traumas and those trials as your power, because I'm so freaking sick and tired of the messaging and the propaganda used towards victims. Because you're not a victim, you're a freaking survivor. Okay? You survived what should have killed you. You survived what tried to silence you, because you were put on this earth intentionally to go through those trials and traumas to prove not only to yourself, right, but to learn from those things. And you're like, well, what could I possibly have learned from being sexually traumatized as a child? I will tell you what you learned. You have learned to have so much empathy and compassion for other survivors. You know exactly what it feels like when someone says, I feel so incredibly broken and I don't know if I could ever heal myself again. Okay? How do I know? Because I experienced that. And so when I turn around and reach my hand out to help someone, I can empathize and love with them to a degree that nobody else, unless they've gone through that, has. And that is the lesson. That is how you transmute your pain, your traumas, and your trials. And you turn it into the most empowering, beautiful thing. And that's why you're here. Same, Yvonne. That's how I felt after I lost one of my sons to a rare genetic disorder, right? So all these things, all these traumas, all these trials were intentional to get you to where you are today. And if you're still stuck in victim, or you're still stuck in the shame or the blame or the guilt, it's because you still have some healing to do, right? Use the 7 keys. The healing does not have to take years. That is the lie. How do you heal yourself in literal seconds, right? You go back to that little girl who was 3, who was 4, who was 5, who was 6, who was 7. And you just have to see her, and you have to sit her on your lap, and you have to tell her the truth. You have to give her her voice back. How about heart disease? Can it be healed with a $27 Intuitive Guide? So I have to be very careful with my words, you guys. The truth is, if you are dealing with heart disease, cancer, fibromyalgia, Hashimoto's, whatever you are dealing with, right? The root cause started years ago. It started years ago, and your body is going to tell you exactly which key you need to clear first. Okay? Your body, your higher self, your soul is going to say, remember that emotional trauma when you were sexually abused, when you were physically abused? Okay, remember when your uncle did this or said this to you? Okay? We need to clear that. We need to tell yourself the truth about that. Okay? The generational trauma, you know, all those things that your dad would say to you, right? All the things that your mom done to you, okay? Generationally, we need to clear that. Okay? Spiritual trauma, absorbed energy, past life, okay? And then lastly, physical. Your body will tell you what parasites you need to clean, what nutrient deficiencies you have, what toxins are in your body, and then your body will also tell you what you need to take. If it's a food, or if it's a supplement, or if it's an emotional clearing, your body will know, okay? So to answer your question, I do not treat, I do not diagnose, I'm not a healer, I'm not a savior, but you have the gift to be able to know exactly how to take care of yourself. My pain comes from the post-separation abuse I'm still going through as well. Yes. So remember, you guys, pain is the messenger. Pain is your body telling you, right, your higher self, telling you there's something wrong here, we need to fix it. But we have been taught to silence our truth. We have been taught to silence the messenger with painkillers, right? Painkillers mask the symptoms. They do not get to the root cause and heal, right? Because that is spiritual. Okay? So So we're going to do one-on-ones now. Thank you, Heather, for jumping in and modifying me, love. Gigi's like, I know what's up. Gigi's like, I know what's up. Okay, so Gigi, so this is what I need you to do. You guys, I'm going to prove to you how these keys work. I'm going to prove to you that these keys work using your intuition and the 7 keys to unlock truth, okay? I'm not your savior. I'm not a medium. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a healer, okay? I am here to awaken truth in you. So if you have not already gotten my free guide and are following me and you're asking for help, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're still staying in the cycle of seeking external validation to heal what's going on in you, okay? So I need you to download the free guide, learn how to do this yourself, okay? So what I am not doing on these one-on-ones is I'm not healing people. I am holding sacred space. I am testing which key will unlock their truth. I will relay the message from their messenger and they will do the clearing on their own. Okay? Does this make sense? Yay, Kelly, got the $27 guide. Okay, so Gigi. Okay, so this is what I need you guys to do. I need you to say, I give you full permission. I need you to say what your pain level is, or if you have a money block or a relationship or something. I will not, if you have not downloaded the free guide, okay, and you're not following me, okay, I'm not helping people who are just hoping to get quick fixes. This is not what this is, right? I am teaching you how to fish. I am teaching you how to do this so you never have to rely on someone else again to do this work, okay? Got it? Okay. Okay. So I need, okay, so Natasha did it right, Queen. So Natasha, 10-10 lower back. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you. Yes, Annette, which book are you reading? Because I have a few. Are you reading Becoming God's Daughter or Cut the Crap? Okay, you guys have to say what the pain is and that I give you permission. There's a reason why you need to give me permission, right? Everything is done with free will. Okay, I will not test you unless I have permission. Okay, I can't actually. I'll get a no that I can't test you. Call bearer, sister, 10-10 neck. Call bearer, sister, 10-10 neck. And so you guys, when I'm doing this, you're not going to be able to see how I'm testing this. The way I test is what I'm going to be doing on this live. And that's exactly what I teach you in my $27 guide. Okay. Yeah. Any physical pain or symptom you have, that is key number 1, right? That is your body telling you where that pain or that emotion or where that's trapped. So if it's shoulder pain, right? This is your messenger, okay? Tapping ya, saying, hey, there's something wrong here. So chat SYA. I think my, I think TikTok's filtering messages because I'm, just so you know, I'm not seeing a lot. Brain aneurysm, and you're at an 8. Thank you. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for tapping. Okay, my goal is to get to 100K. No real reason other than TikTok will know that this is a video people want to see and want to hear, and it will share it to other people, okay? You guys, I teach the keys for free because people need to know. You guys, people need to know this. I wish somebody had given me the keys for free. It would have saved me thousands of dollars, lots of physical pain. Okay. Kelly Ray, I didn't see if you gave me permission or what you need me to work on. And then Melissa, TikTok tips and tools. And she is a 9-10. Okay, anxiety. Okay, anxiety. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, you guys, I have my list for now. If you're not on the list, that's fine because I go live all the time. Okay, you'll catch me again. But I don't do these, right, to hand out free healings. I'm not healing. I'm just using these keys to show you how it's done, right? To prove to you that these people can go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 in literal minutes. Hey, Annette, I'll add you to the list too. Since you were pinned. 10-10 fibromyalgia. Ooh, okay. Okay, so Gigi, are you here? So you guys, this is the, I want to tell you something, and this is very important. If you're here listening, okay, this is very extremely important. I spent 10 years learning other people's ways, huge elaborate ways to test, to treat, to clear. And I was shown, working with hundreds of people, the fastest way to clear pain, literally in minutes. Okay, and I'm going to show you right now. It's holding sacred space for yourself. And there's two things that I do not have to teach. I don't care where you live, what language you speak, what religion you are, what color you are, what race, what gender, what your identity is. Okay, none of those things matter. It's unconditional love and breath. I see you, Gigi, okay. Unconditional love and breath are the fastest ways that I have seen people clear and go from a 10-10 excruciating pain to a 0 in literal minutes. Okay, and it looks like this. When I am testing, I'm using the keys to test. Okay, their messenger is going to tell me what needs to be unlocked. When the messenger is done speaking, right, your body's ready to clear now. And this is how you clear. Okay, this is me just holding myself, loving myself, okay? And breathing. With each breath in, I breathe in unconditional love to wherever that pain is in my body. And then when I breathe out, I see the pain leaving my body. I witness the healing. That's it. That is it. You don't need these huge, elaborate, whatever ways to clear, okay? It's so unnecessary. Be like a little child. Give yourself unconditional love and then allow the emotion to come out. Maybe you need to cry. Maybe you get freezing cold. Maybe you get super hot. Maybe you need to scream. Okay, just trust that the energy is ready to come out. All right, Gigi. Gigi. So I have permission to test Gigi, yes. Okay, which key will unlock Gigi's healing first? She's a 15 out of 10 pain, so this is pretty bad. Physical, emotional, spiritual. So the first key I got is spiritual. Okay. Does she need to know more? Yes. Is it the good side? Nope, it's the bad side. You guys, if you're just joining and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, get my free guide, okay? I can give you the keys for free. So unclean spirit. Okay, an unclean or an earth wanderer. Do we need to know when this became attached? Yes, 1 through 5, 5 through 10. 5 at age 6. Did something happen at age 6, Gigi? So something at age 6, this is when this unclean spirit attached to you. Did she need to know more? Nope. So you just get to command this unclean spirit to leave. So my free guide is linked in my bio. So how does that look like, right? When you have something attached to you, that's spiritual. This is what I do. So I just close my eyes and I just command, maybe anchor into the pain. I command this earth wanderer, this unclean spirit, to leave my body. I become invisible to it in all timelines, dimension, and space. Does this one need to go to light? If it's an earth wanderer or an unclean spirit, you guys, that is someone who died and chose not to go into the light, okay? Those are the only ones that we can help. We don't help demons go into the light, okay? That's not where they're here. Only unclean spirits or earth wanderers, okay? So you can, Gigi, see a beautiful light and ask this unclean spirit, is it a boy? It's a female, it's a male, to go into the light. But either way, you're commanding it to leave your presence, okay? Gigi, let me know. And I think this is your hip. Is it attached or, yeah. So let me know when that's been cleared. So how is she clearing? She's just commanding it to leave. She's offering the light if it wants to, but if not, okay, it doesn't get to be in your energy anymore. Does she need to know more? Has that been cleared? Yes, 100% good. Does she need another key? Yes. Okay. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. I feel like every time I clear or I test for something spiritual or past life, there's always something absorbed afterwards. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. So you guys, in my $27 guide, I have a list of the emotions, right? Sometimes we need to know the emotion because that's why whatever is there was anchored. It was anchored to that emotion. So front page, back page, 50 through 60, 61, 62, 60. Okay, so feeling of worthless is the absorbed energy that you were carrying. That wasn't yours at age 6. So you're just going to command, right? And it's attached to the pain. I command this worthless energy that was absorbed. It wasn't even mine, right? This belief that I was worthless to leave my body now. And I fill it with unconditional love. And you guys, if there's an age that I tested, so she was 6, sometimes I might see my 6-year-old little self and tell her the truth she needed to hear in that moment. See her being healed. So Gigi, just something at age 3, we can test that next. So I tested that this started at age 6, whatever's the unclean, the earth wanderer, and the worthless energy was at age 6. How does this work, Ty? Oh, pain is at a 3. What, Gigi? You guys, she went from a 15 pain to a 3. I think that was literally less than like 3 minutes. She did, not me. Right? From one thing. One. You guys, this is why I teach this, because I see these miracles every freaking day. Every day. We're just allowing the messenger to speak. You guys, when the messenger speaks, you hear the message, she leaves. Takes the pain with her. Good job, Gigi. Okay, let's ask if there's another key, because she's at a 3. Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. From your dad. Does she need to know more? Yes. How many generations back? 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15. Oh, how many? Does she need to know how many generations back? No. Oh, sorry. Does she need to know the emotion? But you do need to know the emotion. Front page, back page. 50 through 60, 60 through 70, 60, 61, 60. Okay, worry. So generational from dad, worry. Okay? It's not yours. Heather, me too, right? It's crazy. So if everyone can at heart, Gigi, right? She just went from a 15 out of 10 pain to a 3. She's going to clear this one last key, generational worry from her dad's line. So how do you clear that, right? She has pain, so that's where we know it's anchored. I command this generational pain, right? Worry that is not mine to leave my body now, and I fill it with unconditional love. And we just keep breathing unconditional love into that pain, okay, until it completely is gone. If the pain stays and it's stuck, you can ask, is there another key? If you get a no, it might mean it's just integration, right? Now your body needs time to heal and cleanse that area. So does Gigi need another key? Nope. Will that get her to a 0? Yep, that was it. See how fast this is, you guys? So if you want to learn the technique that I use, right, how to get your yes and no that fast, I mean, we literally tested Gigi in, I think it was 5 minutes now. Okay, you can do this too. You can, I promise you. Right, I had somebody reach out and they're like, I want to get certified in this. And I'm like, if you feel called, that's great. But I'm telling you, if you join my spiritual mastery course and you learn these things, you don't need any other outside certifications, because you will naturally learn how to do these things. Okay, Natasha, 10-10 lower back. Are you here? And then Gigi, when you get to a 0, please let us know so that we can all mass heart you. So you guys, thank you for hearting and sharing. We're so close to our goal. And you guys, make sure you get my free guide. Okay, get my $27 guide before the 1st. It's going to go up to $47. Still an incredible deal, but just want to let you guys know. Okay? My spiritual mastery course is $397, but there are payment plan options. Ooh, stay golden. Yeah, skin issues. Skin issues are definitely something that you want to test, right? Especially eczema. I was covered in acne. It was from emotional trauma, right? I know, I am amazing. I'm horrible at that. Like, I really don't know how to use TikTok the right way. Okay, is Natasha here? Yeah, if you need skin clearing, you guys, ask which key is causing your skin. A lot of times there's a belief that maybe you're ugly or you're disgusting or I'm unworthy. You have hatred for yourself. Your skin will literally ooze that out. Okay. All right, Natasha, do I have permission? Yes. Okay, perfect. What's the first key? It could be something spiritual though too, or absorbed, right? I'm not saying that that's exactly what your skin issues are, but the keys will tell you exactly, why do I have acne? Why do I have psoriasis? Why do I have eczema? Show me which key. Okay. It could be a parasite, right? Could be a toxin, could be a heavy metal, could be mold. Your body will tell you. Okay, we're working on Natasha, you guys. Gigi is down to a 2, so we're still keeping her in our thoughts and our prayers as she's clearing. So Natasha, lower back pain. So you're going to be speaking to your pain. Okay? It's physical, emotional, spiritual. So the first key I got was spiritual. You guys, there's always a theme. I wonder if the theme tonight will be spiritual. Okay. I'm Heather. It's good. Okay. So a hex. A hex. A hex was placed upon you. It's in your back. The thing is, you guys, curses and hexes will never work unless you allow them to. But when we're children or when we have these beliefs, right, we just take them on because we don't know any better. Does she need to know more? Yes. What age was this hex put on her? Age 1 through 5, 5 through 10, age 5, age 6. Again, age 6. Age 6. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. So age 6, Natasha, did something happen at age 6 that you can remember? If not, that's fine. Front page, back page. 50 through 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. So self-abuse. Self-abuse is the emotion. Natasha. Okay, no worries. Does she need to know more? Nope. So all you have to do, Natasha, is just hold sacred space for your back, right? Breathing unconditional love. And you just say, I command this hex that was placed on me to leave my body now. I fill that with unconditional love. I remove this self-abuse from my body. It could have been thoughts, right? Your body doesn't need to know. Your body's just saying it can be cleared. I remove any self-abuse that I was unaware of at the age of 6 to leave my body now. And I fill it with unconditional love. And then you're just going to breathe unconditional love into your back. And then just breathe it out. Sometimes the pain might escalate, right? Because the messenger's like, oop, this is it. Okay? And just keep breathing until it clears. Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual. So generational. Okay? So you guys can have multiple keys attached to the same pain. Generational from her dad. How many generations back does she need to know? Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 5, 6, 7 generations back. That's a long time. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. The free guide is linked in my bio, Queen. Okay, click on my profile picture twice and it'll send you to my profile. Worthless. So worthless was passed down generationally, right? Remember epigenetics. So Natasha, I breathe in unconditional love to this back pain. I release the generational worthlessness. I release that now from my back and I clear that and fill it with unconditional love and witness the healing. So when I deal with generationally, right, I see this like beautiful light just like shooting through me, like all the generations back, almost like in a repetitive circle. Okay. And then just keep breathing. Let us know when that clears. Hi, I would get a job and work for Bed King as a store. You can use these keys for work, for jobs, for money. Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, and then absorbed. Okay, the last key. Is this the last key? Yes. So then on top of that, the last key is absorbed energy that's sitting in your back. Does she need to know when this happened? Yes. Age 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 15 through 20, 15, 16, 17. And then at age 17, you absorbed some energy that wasn't yours. 50 through 60, 61, 62. So worthless. At worthless energy. Does she need to know more? Nope. So Natasha, I command this worthless energy, this absorbed energy in my back that's not mine, to leave my body now. How much would that key cost? Well, it could cost you your life if you don't clear it. I can tell you that. These keys can cost you your life, right? What do I mean by that? I mean, if you don't get to the root cause and you keep silencing your truth, you will put your light out. Women who are at their deathbed, it's because they have silenced their truth for so many years that they're literally hiding their light under a bush. You put a light under a bush long enough, it will go out. Okay? Natasha, how you feeling, Queen? How we doing, Natasha? Yes, we got to 100K. Thank you, Brenda. How do you find out what those keys are? I teach you for free. If you just joined, emotional. Yes, honey, let those emotions flow. Okay, so you guys were working with Natasha, right? I said when you hold unconditional love for yourself, trust what comes up. If you need to cry, it's your body doing what it wasn't able to do. So just let all those tears come and let us know when your pain drops, Natasha. Will she get to a 0 tonight on this live? Yes. So that will go from a 10-10 lower back pain to a 0. Okay, so we're going to hold love for Natasha as she's clearing this. So you guys, the 7 keys, if you're just joined, I give them to you for free. It is how to tap into why you're tired, heavy, overwhelmed, or sick. Okay? These keys work for everything. Okay? So, yeah, how's Gigi doing? Did she make it to her 0? Yeah, so you guys, all of my information is linked in my bio if you want to book a one-on-one, if you want to join my spiritual mastery course, okay? If you just want to learn the keys and help other people, okay, but you want it quick, get my $27 guide. It's life-changing, baby. Gigi's at a 1. Natasha is at a 5. Good job, Natasha. Good job. Gigi in the house. So Gigi went from a 15 out of 10 pain. She was not messing around, to a 1. Okay? It's been 11 minutes. Natasha went from a 10-10 to a 5, and literally it's been 2 minutes. Okay? I teach these keys because we have been lied to. We have been told and taught that we cannot heal ourselves, that we don't know what the heck's wrong with us, that we can't know in literal seconds, right? That's the lie. We've been told to silence our truth. When you silence your truth, you silence the messenger. The messenger is just trying to tell you what's wrong, right? Pain is the secret language of the body. When you listen to the pain, it will tell you what's wrong. Not playing around. I'm too amazing. Gigi is part of my tribe. Yes, queen. Hells to the yes. Yes, Gigi. Okay. Natasha, I got that you need another key. Oh, I knew it. Natasha with the past life key. Okay. And the persecution's cross. Yes. If you've been following my lives, you guys, without a doubt. Okay. So many people are clearing the persecution's cross. This is going to be a big one. Okay, Natasha, without even having to say anything, people with a persecution's cross in this life have dealt with horrific traumas and trials, right? It's in preparation to step fully into your power. It's taking all of your lifetimes of being silenced for your truth, coming into this moment right now to step fully into what you were supposed to do. Speak truth. Be a leader. Be seen. Be fully heard with all of your spiritual gifts, okay? Hold on, I gotta block some peeps. Not in my live. So you guys, the persecution cross is real. It is very, very, very real. Okay? When you're ready to clear this is how I clear the persecution's cross. Okay? I see all of these lifetimes and this lifetime of all of my trials and all of my traumas. Okay? I'm almost like Wonder Woman. Okay? I call all my power back to me. I heal every single part of myself. And it's like this fire. Okay? We call it the phoenix fire, the phoenix rising through the ashes. And you are like, I've learned all the lessons. Okay? I survived and I'm powerful, and now I'm going to step fully into my spiritual gifts to be fully seen and to be fully heard. Okay? And it's like you almost take that physical step into the new you. Okay? You don't live in the past anymore. Those things happen for a reason. Okay? Your traumas, your trials were intentional to get you to where you are today. Okay? To be a leader who's been through it and who knows, and now you get to help people. Okay? You get to be a light, not just a light. It's like a burning fire light, right? The phoenix on fire. Okay? When you light your fire and you shine your light, you guys, it gives other people permission. Okay? We've been lied to. We say if you shine too bright, right, you put other people's light out. It's like, no. When you shine your light so bright, it gives other people permission to shine their light bright, and it creates a wildfire of truth and ascension, okay? We give other people permission. When you hide your light, it doesn't do anyone any service. In fact, you will put your light out. You promised to be a gift in this life. You promised your people that you would remember who you are, and you would shine your light, and it would help them remember, okay? I would not be here today if it wasn't for the men and women who stepped up and shined their light and said, you can do this too. Let me show you the way, okay? Yes, weight gain can absolutely be from trauma. Weight gain is protection. You guys, whenever I see someone with a lot of extra weight, I don't think that they're slobs or disgusting. I think that that person has had trauma. That person is going through something really difficult that they can't physically express with their words, so their body is carrying it for them. Okay? So weight, okay, is some type of protection. And if you're in your 40s and your 50s, they say, oh, it's like menopause, now you have all this extra weight. It's because your body's forcing you to process all those things in your childhood that you didn't, right? They say women go crazy during menopause. No, it's because your body is done silencing the truth and you're not putting up with crap anymore. Okay? So, if you are dealing with weight, use the keys. Your body will tell you which key needs to unlock your truth in order. Okay, start with the first key, clear it all the way. Then the second key, clear it all the way. Okay, I will tell you most of the time, it's going to be spiritual first, and then it's going to get into the physical, right? It's going to get into the heavy metals, the toxins, the parasites. What are the nutrient deficiencies, okay? You can know exactly what your body needs. Exactly. To the root, okay? I gained 15 pounds of weight. I was in a toxic corporate job. Toxic. I wasn't eating any differently. I wasn't working out any differently. What was happening was my body was holding on to the emotions I could not process at that time because I was going through so much mental chaos that my body just did what it did best. It was protecting me from the emotions I couldn't go through, okay? Yeah, my one-on-ones are in my bio, linked in my bio. Okay, how is Natasha doing? Natasha, you will get to a 0 on this live. So, is something Bear's sister? I didn't write that right. Something Bear's sister, or Chatsia, or Harisna. Okay, there you are. Call bear sister. Okay. Yay, Natasha! You guys, everyone said love at Natasha. Her back pain is almost completely gone. It has been, what, 10 minutes maybe? 10 pain to almost completely gone. You guys, these keys work. These keys are incredible. Okay, I teach you all the keys for free. And I do these one-on-ones to prove to you that I'm not the psychic, the healer, the medium, the savior. I'm not that. I'm helping you remember how to do this for yourself. Okay, so excited. Call bearer. Okay, we're gonna do call bearer. Do I have permission? Yes. What's the first key? This is exactly what you guys will do at home. What's the first key that I need to unlock my truth? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? So the first key I got was absorbed. Someone's like, well, I tested all the keys. No, you don't do that. You test one key at a time. When you get the key, you listen to the messenger until she tells you everything you need to know. When she says, nope, you don't need to know anymore, you clear it. And then you ask, okay, now what's the next key? When it's spiritual, it includes everything, right? I can write an entire book on just spiritual things. I can write an entire book on the spiritual bad things and the spiritual good things. So if you test, yes, it's spiritual, right? That's where the intuitive testing comes in and trusting your intuition, right? You have to learn how to ask questions. Why do you think children are so brilliant? And God said, become like little children to make it back to the kingdom of God. Because children know how to ask, why? How? And they cry when they need to cry, and they're mad when they need to be mad, right? It's because children have unconditional love for themselves and other people. So we have to go back to that. Why? Why does my chest pain? Why? How? Okay? So if you think it's that, right, your body's going to tell you. And then you guys, spiritually, people deal with spiritual things differently culturally, right? In Africa, they have witch doctors and voodoo and like different things. And then in Jamaica, they have different spiritual practices. In America, we have different religions, spiritual practices, right? We all have our own lingo. Indians, right? They have their own type of spiritual language for what they're dealing with. So it's not necessarily for me what it's for you. What is it for you? So if I think it's this, because that's what I'm culturally know, like those are the words, the language I know, that's what I'm going to test. Okay. Okay. So call bearer, she's working with her neck and shoulders. Are these connected? Yes. Okay. The reason why I asked is because sometimes your neck might be a set of keys and your shoulder might be a set of keys. So we have to treat them separately. In that case, if they were separate, I would ask, do I need to treat my neck first or my shoulder? And your body will tell you. So in this case, hers are connected. So as we test the keys, she's going to clear them together. Does that make sense? So she absorbed energy. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know the age? No. Okay, go potty. Love you. So does she need to know just the emotion? Yes. Okay. So front, back, 50 through 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. So lost. The feeling of lost. This was absorbed energy, okay? So it's stuck in your neck and your shoulder. It's not yours. It's absorbed. So what you're going to do is you're just going to hold sacred space, breathe in unconditional love, and you're going to command that lost energy that's not yours to leave your body. And you're just going to command it to leave, and you're just going to breathe and just feel that pain leaving your body, okay? Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed again. Does she have multiple absorbed? Yes. Okay. More than 5, more than 10, more than 15, more than 20, more than 30, more than 40, more than 50, more than 60, more than 70, more than 80, more than 90, more than 100. Okay, so you guys, this is happening a lot. So you're at more than 100 absorbed energies. What does this mean, call bearer? It means that you are an empath. Your gift is to feel pain, but you are an open dumpster. And you're allowing people to just dump, okay? And you have no boundaries. You have no boundaries and no filter. So this is what's happening. Oh, call bear. I'm just going to share and dump and dump and dump and dump. And you're like, okay. And then I'm going to leave feeling amazing. And then you're going to feel like absolute garbage. Okay. But this is actually your gift. Your gift is to feel, to be an empath, but you have to set terms and boundaries. So this is what we're going to do. Because you have a lot. Does she have anything else other than absorbed? Nope. This is all absorbed energy. It's not even yours. So I command all the absorbed energy in my entire lifetime. In my entire lifetime to leave my body now. It's not mine. I command you to leave now. And I want you to fill that space with unconditional love. And now you need to set terms and boundaries. I will no longer allow my spiritual gifts as an empath to be used without my consent. I seal up my energy. I will no longer allow people to dump their energetic baggage on me. It's not happening. I seal my energy up in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. When I want to be and use my spiritual gifts, I will allow that gift to be open, but only when I consent. Yeah, Yvonne, super empathful. I was too, right? I was a hairdresser for years. People would just be like, I never told anyone in this in my life, right? Which is okay. That's okay. You're a safe space. But what's not okay is for people to just dump, right? And just dump it on you. So, call bear. Yeah, honey, it's very emotional. Let all of those tears out. It's like, oh, that has to be so heavy. So heavy. Okay, I'll stop dumping. Danielle, that's different. She's my friend. She's like, okay, I'll stop dumping. Goddamn. I have boundaries and I have set my, right, energetic boundaries. So people can dump all they want. It doesn't affect me. I don't take it. Yeah, being a hairdresser can be very draining, especially if you don't have boundaries, right? I know you're being funny. Yeah. So you guys, in my spiritual mastery course, I teach you how to consecrate your space, how to set boundaries, how to open your spiritual gifts, how to know what your spiritual gifts are, right? And how to ask the right questions, okay? It absorbs you until you no longer, yes, it's true. So call bear, you let us know when that 10-10 pain goes to a 0. Thank you, Queen, for the cake. That sounds really good right now. Someday they'll invent frequency stuff that you can like actual send food through the phone, like Willy Wonka. Okay, Care Bear, you let us know when you go to a 0. Will she get to a 0 on this live? Yes. Yes. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm gonna follow my top people, my top peeps up here. I'm gonna follow you real quick, and then did Gigi make it to a 0 and Natasha? And then Care Bear, how are you at? Tiffany. I know I got Brenda. Yvonne, thanks for following, Queen. And Donna. Kelly Ray, thank you. Kellyanne. And Valley View Writing Stables. G Art. I know I got my Queen Nakia here. Deanna. Thanks for following, Deanna. And Jordy Jew. Thank you. Okay. Call bear is 710. This is a lot of absorbed energy, so I want you to just keep clearing and commanding it to leave. And then trusting any emotion that comes up. Good evening, early morning. It's 10:30 here. Okay, Gigi's still at a 1. Okay. So that's good though, Gigi. 15 to a 1. Rock! Okay, don't hate me. I know I told you I was going to update my guide, and I totally did not get it to it today. But it will be tomorrow, I promise. Maybe later tonight. So you guys, I apologize if you guys got my guide and there was some grammar errors, number errors. That's been updated. So, Care Bears, okay, she's kind of sitting there for a little while. Sometimes you might need to walk around and move, okay, but just keep commanding the energy to leave. Does she need another key? Okay, now she needs another key. So Care Bears needs another key, physical, emotional, spiritual, so generational, from your dad. Does she need to know how many generations back? Okay. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 15 through 20. Okay, and then generationally on your dad's side, there's another thing that's almost like a pattern in lifetimes, okay? It's a generational lifetime pattern that you're ready to clear. 50 through 60, 60 through 70, 61, 62. So worthless. So this feeling of worthless, that's generational from your dad's side. I want you to command this worthless energy that's attached here to leave your body in all timelines, dimension, and space. Okay? And then I want you to witness the healing. See that energy being cleared in all like timelines, multiple lifetimes, generationally, this thing of worthlessness that keeps coming back and back and back. Not anymore. Okay? It stops with you. Does she need another key? Nope, that will get her to a 0. Yep. Okay. And then Chatsia, are you here? I look so fresh and shiny. I have an overactive thyroid, currently on meds for this. Is there a specificality? Yeah, so when you're dealing, did they put you on ivermectin, not ivermectin, what's that called? Did they put you on thyroid medication? Okay, Chatsia, hey queen. Please tell me they did not put you on thyroid medication. If they did, okay, if you guys ever are forced to be put on something, I really, really want you to ask yourself first, is this, yeah. So I worked in Medicare for a year. Hey, Yvonne, my love. So I worked for Medicare, right? And I will tell you that the sickest people were on multiple medications, and the one that we all know, it's a life sentence. I won't say it, but if they put you on it, it is a life sentence, but the opposite. But I do know that you can heal yourself, and if you believe you can be healed, you can. I would start with the keys. I would start with the keys. And trust that your body knows exactly how to help yourself, okay? A lot of things start with the liver too, you guys. We are being poisoned in our food, in our water, in our air, and now we're getting forced nanoparticles that are meant to transhumanize us. I won't get really into it, but that's what they're going after us, you guys. They're going after our bodies, and so we need to know how to heal and clear, right? So that doesn't happen. And you start by trusting your intuition, and you start by learning how to use the keys to get to the root cause in seconds, okay? Thank you, Psychic Vine. Yeah, if you are on so many medications, you have to heal your liver, right? It starts at the liver. Detoxing, okay? Drinking pure water, grounding, sunshine. You have to do the spiritual work too. We have to get the trapped emotions and trauma out of our body. We have to purge the emotional trauma, the spiritual trauma, the generational trauma. We have to know our worth. We have to know our power. It starts there. We have to know how to set boundaries. We have to know how to say no to toxic people in our life. We have to clear our circle, okay? We have to clear the energy. If you need a place to start, join my free Live Empowered course. Join my free Live Empowered course. It's linked in the free guide. If you don't know how to set boundaries, if you don't know how to say no, if you do not know how to create safety in your body, okay, you have to start there. If you do not have a vision for where you want your life to go, if you do not have a vision board, you guys, it doesn't have to be the stickers and the beautiful picture. If you don't have a vision of where you want to be in the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, you are a ship lost at sea. You are a ship just hoping to land somewhere, wherever life takes me, right? You're going to the drive-thru and they're giving you tacos when you wanted a cheeseburger and a milkshake and fries. And you're like, why does my life suck so bad? Well, because you don't have a vision of where you're going. You have to have a vision. The second you line up your vision, your soul, your divine purpose will take you there. Things will start lining up, right? But if you don't have a vision, you're a ship lost at sea, And you're wondering why the tide keeps coming in and the waves keep crashing in, because the ship doesn't know where to go, right? You're lost at sea. So give yourself a map, give yourself a vision so that when these things happen, right, you're still on trajectory to go where you want to go, so that God and the universe can support you in your dreams and your desires. How to heal from heartbreak? Most likely you have an emotional belief. Why did they hurt your heart so bad? What did they break in your heart? Was it the trust? Do you feel like you're not good enough, unlovable, right? Your body will tell you exactly what the emotion is. If you're feeling very lost, go within. What you really want. What is your true heart's desire? Okay? You already know. You know. Okay? All right. Chatsia. You're like, holy crap, Heather, get to me already. Chatsia, are you still here? Yes. Okay. Do you know what CIPD is? A chronic, I don't. But yes, if you have it, you can test. Okay? Whatever you have, you can test exactly what it is. So, Chatsia, are you still here? I'm so sorry, Queen. I took a little while to get to you. Chatsia, and then Harris Nessa. Aw, love you, Brock. You're going to be doing the same thing soon. Chatsia, are you still here? Kelly Ray, and then Melissa TikTok tools and tips. And then Annette. Are any of you guys here? You guys are probably getting filtered out. Chatsia is here. She's like, finally. Okay, Kelly Ray. Okay, perfect. So we're going to do Chatsia first, and then you guys are almost up. Okay, so Chatsia, I have permission. Yes, if you guys have just joined, right? You're feeling heavy, tired, triggered, overwhelmed. Okay, it's because doctors aren't going to tell you if it's spiritual. Okay, I've created 7 keys. These are not keys that I just made up. They're keys I remembered, and I teach you how to use them to unlock your truth so that you can literally heal yourself in minutes. Okay, you can know exactly what's wrong with you. So Chatsia, I am testing which key will unlock her truth. She is doing the healing, not me. Okay, physical, emotional, spiritual. So Chatsia, spiritual, the good, the bad, demonic. Are there more than one? Are there legions of entities? Chatsia. So does she need to know more? Yes. When did they attach to her? Age 1 through 5, age 5 through 10, age 5, age 6. At age 7, Chatsia, does she need to know the emotion? Yes. Anything happen at age 7, Chatsia? Front page, back page. And it's okay if you don't want to share. 50 through 60, 61, 62. So worthless. Worthless was also the energy that it was attached to. Don't remember, okay? No worries. Your body remembers and your soul knows, so we're ready to clear this. And then Chatsia, where is your pain connected to? Did you say you were innate pain? Or just gleeked? So, does she need to know more? No. So Chatsia, I don't know what your religious background are, what you feel about the spiritual key, but you're just going to command these legions, right? These legions of entities. You command them to leave your body, your head and your back. Okay, that makes sense. That's where I was attacked by legions. Okay. All right, it's her head and back connected. Yes. Okay. So this is where they're attached to. So this is what I do. Okay. This is how I clear anything, because I dealt with clearings and it would come back. And I'm like, why does it keep coming back? So Chatsia, this is what you're going to do. I command that these legions of demonic entities to leave my body now. I become invisible to you. You cannot leave any trackers or tracers in my body. You will never see me or be able to find me again in any timelines and any dimensions in any space. I fill my body with unconditional love, and I release that energy of feeling worthless when I was a child. I remove that energy from my body. I fill my body with unconditional love. Okay? and just witness that happening. Okay? Good job. That will bring her pain to a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So that should bring your pain down to a 5. You're welcome, Crystal. Which means there's another key. You can have multiple keys attached to the same area. Physical, emotional, spiritual. So generational now. And you guys, remember I said earlier, there's lots of people who have no memory of their childhood. It doesn't mean that you have to remember. It means that your body was protecting you from a trauma or a trial or some type of abuse that you could not handle. Either your spirit disassociated and left your body while the thing happened, right? Or your body, it was just too much. And it's a self-preservance mechanism where your body blocked it out completely, right? To keep you on this life, to help you survive. And so now you're an adult, you don't have to remember. In fact, if you remember, you might go into psychosis or you might become suicidal. Like, think there's a reason why. So you can use these keys to clear things, to bring back your love and your power for yourself, right? So if those things do surface, you now have the tools and the proper education so those things do not affect you, right? So you can see and recognize those things from an empowered place. So Chatsia, the next one is generational from your dad. How many generations back does she need to know? Nope. Does she need to know the emotion? Nope. So Chatsia, you're just going to command this generational, what's ever in your body that's not yours, to command it to leave now. Okay, it's attached to your head and your back. I just command this generational trauma to leave my body now and just witness it leaving, clearing, filling with unconditional love. Okay, this will bring her pain down to a 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Does she need another key? Yes. So if you guys are just following or you just joined, I teach the keys for free. So make sure you get my free guide. If you want to learn exactly how I'm doing this for Chatsia, right? I have my $27 guide. It is going to go up to $47 in January. So get it before the 1st if you want to save $20. But either way, it's life-changing. It's transformational. Has that been cleared? Yes, 100%. Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Do you have little memories? Sorry, I don't know what the question is. Thank you, Rock, my number one queen who always shouts me out. I love you. Don't take it from me. Take it from Brock, right? Take it from someone else who's purchased. I know it's amazing because I've spent my entire lifetime discovering these keys and creating a system that works for people who've experienced horrific traumas, because I experienced them firsthand. Child loss, sexual abuse, physical abuse, religious abuse, spiritual abuse, all the abuses, right? So Chatsia, the last key is absorbed energy. Does she need to know from who? Yes. From your dad. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know the emotion? Front page, back page. Did Chatsia say what the question was? 50 through 60, 61, 62, 60. So worthless. Worthless. Makes sense. Worthless. So you're just going to command this absorbed energy of worthless to leave your body. Hey, was it Priscilla? I think that's what your name was. Priscilla, welcome back, Queen. Yes, from the Trinidad. So excited to have you here, Lauren. Thank you. Make sure you follow me. Don't lose me. Get my free guide if you haven't. You guys, I teach keys for free. Oh, very little memory. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So as you clear these, Chatsia, your body is going to bring more things up, and you're going to learn how to trust your intuition and clear, and then you're going to get more and more empowered. You're going to become so strong, right? Maybe those memories never have to come up, and that's totally fine. But if they do, they will. And when they do, you'll be ready. And you'll know exactly what to do, how to heal that, right? How to clear that. So how's your neck pain and your back pain, Chatsia? This will get her to a 0, yes. Tonight, yes. Does she need another key? Nope, that's all you needed. So Kelly Ray, are you ready? Pleasure meeting you too, Priscilla. Kelly Ray, are you still here? Good morning, gardening. Oh, if you developed shingles, okay, typically that's from Epstein-Barr. Reason 8 love. I got spiritual for that. So you want to use the keys because you can actually heal, right, from shingles. They say it's a virus. You can never heal from it. That's a lie. It's a lie. Kelly Ray. Hands-free technology. Yep, your body. Your body is an instrument that can test with a 99.9% accuracy. When you recognize that and you learn how to get yes and no from your body, you have the keys. You will unlock your truth in literal seconds. You can know in literally seconds what is wrong with you and how to heal yourself. That is the truth. Okay? That is 100% truth. And anyone who tells you otherwise is a liar. And they want to profit off of you, and they want to keep you sick, and they want to keep you reliant on their system. So anyone who tells you you cannot know for yourself and you cannot do these things for yourself is a liar. And they'll get their karma. I promise. Okay? Kelly Ray, she gave me permission. Yes. So Kelly Ray has anxiety. Okay? So we're going to ask what's the first key to help her unlock some of this anxiety. Anxiety tends to be worrying about the future, where depression tends to come from the past, right? So when you're depressed, it's because you have loops of trauma that happened in the past. Anxiety is you have loops of how am I going to take care of myself? What about this, right? So Colbert, you're doing so good. She's down to a 4, you guys. So we worked with Colbert earlier. She was at a 10-10 pain. She's down to a 4. So just keep breathing, queen. Keep holding that sacred space. You're almost there. But no pressure, right? Walk around, drink some water, okay? So, Kelly Ray, anxiety. We're going to ask, what's the first key? Why do spirits follow me? Well, because you gave them permission. It could be a curse, could be a hex, it could be tied to trauma, could be tied to a past life, right? You can know. You're welcome, Colbert. Okay. So Kelly Ray, physical, emotional, spiritual. Spiritual, is it good? No, it's bad. Demonic, more than one, legion. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know when this happened? Yes. Age 1 through 5, 5 through 10, age 5, age 6. She's like, I knew it. Are you Christian? Yes. I am a Christian. I believe in God and Jesus. People say I'm a new age. It drives me. You're a new age. I'm like, cool. If new age means that you can talk directly to God and you don't need a middleman, that you can receive direct answers, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will be opened, then yes, I am guilty. I am new age. All right. Age 6, queen. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. Ooh, oh, Kelly. Oh, Kelly. You definitely found me, queen. That was me too. Okay, what's the emotion? Are there more than one? No. Okay, front page, back page. 50 through 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Self-abuse. Okay. You guys, when you're a child, what can self-abuse look like? I will tell you. For me, when I was 4 years old, I felt like I wasn't good enough. I knew what beauty was. I felt like I was an ugly child. I felt not good enough, unworthy. That's self-abuse. Doesn't mean you're actually like doing things. It means the internal language that you're speaking to yourself. Okay? At 6 years old. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know a specific event? Yes. So Kelly, I just want you to ask your body to show you what is the specific event that happened at 6 that caused these to anchor in. Yeah, Brenda. It's not good. And let me know when you have the memory. Sands, you can know. You can know if you have anything on you, anything spiritual, right? Ask and you shall receive, okay? It's just trusting your intuition. Kelly Ray. Okay, nothing's coming to mind. Okay. Is she ready to clear this? Okay. So, Kelly Ray, unconditional love for your body, okay? I want you to tap into this neck pain and this back pain. Okay, this is what you're going to do, okay? I command these legions of demonic entities that were attached to me at age 6 to leave my body now. I remove any tracers or trackers and I become invisible to them. You can never, ever see me or find me again. I fill that space with unconditional love. You can say the name of Jesus, in the name of God, whatever you feel called. There's no right or right way to, or there's no wrong or right way to do this. I also command the self-abuse, the self-inflicted abuse that I wasn't aware of, the distortion, the lies at 6 years old that I believed that weren't true, to leave my body now. And then I want you, Kelly, to tell your 6-year-old self, to see her in your mind's eye, and to tell her all the things that she needed to hear. And it's okay if you don't remember, but you do know what she needed to hear. What did your 6-year-old self need to hear? And then tell her all those things, and then keep breathing unconditional love and just feeling your body being healed and cleansed, okay? So you do that, and as you do that, I'm going to test the keys. Is there a charge for this? There is not, okay? Not on my life. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you get the free guide, you guys. I teach you how to fish so you can do this for yourself. Kelly Ray, is there another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, from your dad. How many generations back? 1 through 5, 5 through 10. Okay, multiple generations, lifetimes of this cycle of worthless. Multiple cycles of worthless. So I want you to breathe in unconditional love and command this generational feeling of worthlessness that's been generationally downloaded and brought into each generation, right? Through your epigenetics. Just command it to be cleared and to be healed. And then see it being healed through your dad's line, just like cleansing energy all the way through. I command this worthless energy that's not mine to leave my body now and fill it with unconditional love. You're welcome, Kelly. How are you feeling, by the way? Melissa Pons. Yeah, love, make sure you're following me. Get my free guide. Start right there. You can start reading it tonight. Okay? For all of you guys watching, get my free guide. Start reading it tonight. It is literally everything you need to know to get started to reclaim your power and to help you remember. Okay? So Kelly Ray, where's your pain at? Yes, I am certified in emotion code. I'm not in body code, but my friend is. So I'm not the only one that teaches these things, but I am the only one that teaches them for free. And I teach you the 7 keys to unlock truth fast, right? Fast. And I include additional information. Yes, Zan. Good night, Jordy. So if you would like the free guide, click the link or my profile picture twice, and there's a link in my profile. Validation, I can breathe right now. I couldn't even speak. Oh, yes. Good job, Kelly. That was a big one then. She said, validation, I can breathe right now. Oh, good. I couldn't even speak the words before. Yep, a lot of times when I'm doing with spiritual warfare, I can't literally speak. I have to say them out in my mind. The first few times that happened, it was like my mouth was bound shut. Okay, good job. And then let us know pain level, 10 being the worst, where you're at. Really, Kelly? Diagnosed with emphysema. That's insane, yeah. So these keys are really gonna help you. Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Does she need to know more? Nope. So just clear any additional absorbed energy that's around your neck and your back. I just command this absorbed energy that's not mine, okay, to leave my body and fill it with unconditional love. Does she need another key for her neck and back? No. Will that get her to a 0 tonight? Yes. So that will get you to a 0, Kelly. Neck and back, 0. So that's incredible. I think so too, Zan. I honestly think most of us women grew up feeling worthless. Honestly, it was part of the conditioning and the programming because they knew if they got us to doubt ourselves and to doubt our intuition, that means we would have to seek constantly external validation. And as a woman, as you're constantly seeking external validation, when your gift as a woman, the most powerful thing you have is your intuition, no wonder you feel worthless, because the one thing you have, right, the most powerful thing you have, your gift, is being shut down and silenced constantly over and over. And I teach that every time you silence your truth, you put a part of your light out. And the longer you silence your truth, the dimmer your light gets until you literally will put your own light out, right? I work with women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're barely hanging on by a thread because they have silenced their truth for so many decades. They're putting their lights out. So yeah, we're definitely programmed to feel worthless. 100%. That was their intention, okay? We can watch TV, commercial shows, and we can still see that happening today. Okay? All right, is Melissa or Annette here? And they're my last two. So, in my 40s, they call it pre-mon. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay, Melissa's here. So you guys, people say that women go crazy. Oh, Melissa and Annette are here. Perfect. So Melissa's first and then Annette, you're next. So you guys, people who go through premenopause, they say that we're crazy and it's because of our hormones. They blame it on all these things. No, it's because you will be forced to a point where you will not deal with crap anymore. Okay. Most divorces happen around that age because you get to a breaking point where you will no longer put up with abuse, right? You'll no longer put up with lazy men. Okay. All of those trapped emotions and traumas come to the surface. Your body's literally screaming, okay? I'm 41. I have like literally no menopausal symptoms, okay? And when I do have any type of symptom, I have the keys to test to see what my body needs to naturally, beautifully transition, right? That is the same for you. Ooh, Zan. Okay, boundaries. I had to learn how to set boundaries from my parents too, okay? Just because they gave birth to you does not give them permission to have a VIP seat at your table. Hell no, okay? So you guys, take my free Live Empowered course if you are stuck. If you've never done personal development, this is the fastest, easiest way to reclaim your power is in my Live Empowered course, okay? Okay. Melissa. We're going to do Melissa and Annette real quick. You guys, I teach you exactly how to do what I'm doing in my $27 guide. Yeah, you can't get angry with narcissists. You can't blame them. You cannot even set boundaries with them. They will take your words and turn them against you and make you the bad guy. So you have to set invisible boundaries, okay? You just have to say, I will no longer acknowledge this abuse. So what does that look like? That means if I do hang out with this person and they start speaking or saying certain things, I just leave. That means I have the power to choose how my energy is being used. Oh, thanks, Annette. Okay. So, Melissa, I have permission. Yes. Okay. What's the first key? Physical, emotional, spiritual. Generational is the first key for you, Melissa. From your dad. How many generations back? 1, 2, 3, 5 generations back. Okay. 50 through 60, 51, 52, 53. 50. So, unsupported. Okay, from your dad, this feeling of unsupported. Okay, so you're going to command that to leave your body. It's not yours. This feeling of unsupported. So I command this feeling of unsupported to leave my body now. And I command it to be cleared in all generations. Breathing unconditional love. Yes. I'm so excited for you, Zan. This will get her pain to a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, 0. Does she need another key? Ooh. My name's Heather. Does she need another key? Melissa. This must be a big one. Generational. Okay. In your body. So let me know when that goes from a 10 to a 0 or wherever you were in your body, and just keep breathing, and then let us know where you're at and to see if I actually do need another key. But that was pretty quick. Does Melissa need another key? Nope. Okay, Annette. I have permission to treat Annette? Yes. To test? Okay. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational for you, Annette, from your dad. Does she need to know more? Yes. How many generations back? Okay, multiple lifetimes of this. Same repeating pattern within your family unit, okay? Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. Front page, back page. And then Melissa, you let me know where you're at. Unassertive. Unassertive. Okay, so people keep things in. They're unassertive, right? How can that show up generationally, being unassertive, right? You let people walk all over you. This is generational from your dad's side, okay? It's not yours. So Annette, you're going to command this to be cleared in all generations. Breathing in unconditional love. Okay? Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Okay? If you guys are new here and you just joined, right? Make sure you get my free guide. Make sure you're following me. I teach you, if you're feeling tired or overwhelmed or sick, okay, it's not physical, it's spiritual. Most likely it's spiritual. You can have some physical things for sure, okay? For sure. But I have helped hundreds of people go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 pain in literal minutes, because when you silence your truth, you silence the messenger, okay? The messenger is just the secret language of the body is pain. When the messenger speaks, she takes the pain with her. Okay? The longer you silence your truth, the more pain you will have, because the messenger doesn't go away. She just gets louder. If you feel like you're stuck financially, if you feel like you're stuck financially, it could be a key. In fact, I know it's a key, and you can know exactly which key will unlock your financial prosperity, because you cannot spiritually bypass the lessons you came to learn about money either. Money is spiritual. This is similar to the quantum healing I practice to deal with abuse. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that you use these things in a little bit in your own way. I believe in the words I read in your intro into the 7 Keys book. Oh, I love that, Amanda. So how would you release pain in your right leg? Well, first you got to ask the messenger what it is. So you would say, what is this pain in my leg? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Okay, your body will tell you. You ask the messenger, do I need to know more? How do you get your yes and your no? You guys, the way that I do it, I teach you my $27 guide, right? It's super fast. Okay, it's super fast. The second you get a no, I don't need to know more, you can clear that pain in your leg instantly. Instantly. How do I know this? Because I've dealt with this with hundreds of people. Chronic pain, right? Go to a 0 pain in literal minutes. So Melissa, and Annette, where are you guys at? I think your comments are getting filtered out. Okay, so the guide is located in my bio. So just click the link. So click on my picture twice and you'll be able to see it. Okay? All right, you guys, it's 11:03. I'm so excited for all of you guys who are here on my live. If you want to get my $27 guide, if you click my picture twice, okay, you will see the link in my bio. When you click that link, it will show you my free guide, my $27 guide, my one-on-one. Wow, 103 a.m. there. Okay. And if you want to join my spiritual mastery course. So if you're having migraines or insomnia, okay, a lot of times migraines are spiritual for me. Okay. So test. Get my free guide, start there. You guys, thank you so much for following me. All these live recordings will be posted on YouTube. I'm like 30 lives behind. So if I did a clearing for you, you'll be able to watch those, right? If I tested for you, you'll be able to watch those on YouTube. Heather Ashley Jones. You can check out my website, heatherashleyjones.com too. But follow me on TikTok, you guys. I go live every day. I don't go live on Sundays though. But I do go live every day other than Sunday, typically around 8 Mountain Standard Time. So if I didn't get you today, get my free guide. I teach you exactly how to do this, okay? It is very, very important that you stop seeking healing through external validation, okay? It is time to start doing the emotional trauma clearing, the generational clearing, the spiritual clearing, the absorbed energy, okay? The past lives. You can know literally in seconds how to heal yourself. I'm here to tell you that you can know exactly what is wrong with you. You can know exactly what the root cause is of any pain that you're dealing with. And your body will tell you, your intuition will tell you exactly what you need to do in what order and what you need to take. Okay? I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of people across the entire globe. These keys work and they work in seconds. Melissa, unfortunately, I don't feel anything happened. Okay. That's okay. Melissa, get my free guide. Do I have permission? Melissa, get my free guide. We'll jump on another live and see why you didn't feel anything. Okay? Heather Ashley Jones. Heather Ashley Jones. You can Google me too. It'll pull up all of my website, all my things, okay? You guys get my books, all the things. But follow me, follow this community, you guys, because I teach you how to access your own truth, not mine. Okay? I teach you how to call bears out of 3. You're so close. She's so close. You're so welcome, Frock. All right, guys, I love you so, so much. Call Bear, you're so close. You're so close. Everyone send Call Bear so much love. And then for those of you guys who, just joined late, make sure you follow me, okay? Just follow me. And if you got my free guide and you loved it, share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family, okay? Because everyone needs this information. And this information will set people free. Free. I wish I had this information. Okay, it would have saved me so much time, so much money, so much heartache, but I had to go through those things for whatever reason so I can learn and teach these keys to you guys. All right, love you guys. Good night.